Great job, Sean. So stay here for a few minutes and I'm gonna give you a short lesson in front of everybody else. This is what we call a master class. I think they call it the master class because I'm supposed to be the master, but that's kind of a silly thing. I don't know, we'll see. But you play really well, really, really well. Beautiful hands, you've got a great tone, really nice tone. You know what I mean by that? A really good touch on the keys. And your memory is very solid. So you're doing great. You're doing great. So a couple things on each piece, okay, that I think you can do a little bit more. First thing is, when we play, just like when I'm teaching here, do you notice I have to speak a little bit more clearly so that everyone can hear me? You know, because if I just talk like this, you know, some people in the back might not really understand what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that I'm necessarily talking louder, but I'm talking more clearly. We call this articulation. In music, we call this articulation because we need to be very clear with how we speak. Now, you do very, very well with these staccatos and legatos, but I wonder if you can do it like I'm doing with exaggerating. So, and then really legato. So really exaggerating the differences between the staccatos and the legatos. And the staccatos can be almost like little pop. Okay, you want to try this just from the beginning? That's the first thing I think you can be just a little bit better. Very good. This one's great. What about that one? That's great. And then before you take this legato, can you take a little breath? Jesus. So start this line one more time. Good. So when I breathe, I'm not going to take time there. But it's just going to get more legato on that. So this one's a different touch than those, right? Can we try that one more time, Sean? But the composer, Elizabeth Gutierrez, writes a slur over the whole thing. So you've got to make it sound like this is one hand. Instead of it sounding like two hands. Can you make it sound like it's all connected there? And the E flat a little bit less. Good, and don't hold that note too long. Good, keep going. Good, now I'm going to tell you the second thing about the spirit of the stallion piece. When you have these dotted half notes, I want you to be a little bit more patient to make sure all the full value of that note is there. Do you know the word subdividing? When we subdivide, that's a way of dividing the beats in our head. So when I do this, I go dun, 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 dun. So I think that in my head is what we call subdividing. We're kind of keeping track of the subdivision of the measure in my head. So you want to really think 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Because every time you got to those dotted half notes, they were just a little shorter than they needed to be. Can we try it once? Good. Do it by yourself. Keep going. Do this continually. crescendoing, crescendoing, crescendoing. When we get to the very top, sometimes we put too much sound there and it creates an accent. So here you did such a nice job. And then I heard that little, oh, there's a little bit too much there. Did you hear it? Just enjoy that you've arrived there, but don't add too much more. That's the idea. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That was fantastic. Really, really, really good. Okay. Now, so you learned one new word today, subdividing, right? Do you know the word voicing? You know what the word voicing means? The word voicing refers to which part of what I'm doing is going to be the most important. So if I say, can you voice that melody? That means that part of the music needs to come out louder and be more clear. Now on the piano, especially a big piano like this is a big 9-foot concert grand. See how long this part of the piano is? See how long those strings are? Right? So our melodies, we have to work pretty hard to get the melody this melody to be more than the left hand. I heard something more like this. Hear how they're more equal? So I'm wondering if you can try this a little slowly, and if boy, you play this so well. If I could just hear your right hand louder than your left hand, it would be really nice. You want to try it? Sometimes I try to make my right hand feel right here by my arm, because you can play with such great hands and nice relaxed arm. I want to make this arm feel like it's really relaxed and that this is a little bit heavier, and this arm is a little bit more floating. So this is when you play the piano, there's a little bit of this feeling that this side is stronger and this side is just a little lighter. Can we try one more time? And just play that first note. Can you play that note first? Now play that note. Do that again. Now put those together. I think they got equal again. Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? To get that real difference. Yeah. So I'm going to push down on this arm here just a little bit and then make this one just a little lighter. There you go. Yeah. Good. So before COVID, what I used to do is I would have people give me their hands and I'd say, you know, push this hand here and then put that hand there, and now push down on your right hand there. I want to feel this one to be heavy. You can do this with your mom and dad at home later, okay? And then don't push on this one. I'm going to push up on this one and you push me down. Wherever mom and dad are, you can do this with Sean, okay? You understand the exercise? So you're going to put your hand in your mom or dad's hand, and you're going to push down here, and then they're going to push this one up. So you're going to feel like this. Just a little bit. Now I don't want you to be playing the piano like this, but I do want you to feel that difference in weight between the hands, okay? Try that one more time from the beginning. That's great. Great. Can you jump over to here? So I'm going to play and see if I can make this. A little bit more. Can you try it? Soft. Keep this one softer. Good. That's what you're going to work on this with this piece, Sean. You're doing very, very well. You play really well. You know what I'm really impressed with too? Wherever I ask you to start, you had no problem. You just started wherever I asked you. That's really good. That means you learned your piece really well. Okay? Congratulations.